Who doesn't love hair with undone beachy texture? I know that I do. And, oh, hello. It's going on, it's trying to get away from me. It's a struggle. Hello and welcome back to the world of Craig. Yes, that's me. I'm Craig. That's becoming a bit of a thing on here. And this is where we get into all things hair and sometimes a little bit of beauty. I hope that you are all well. The sun is out here in London. My filming is slightly weather dependent because I live in a cave and we need the sun out so that I don't look 750 years old. I hope that you guys are all well. Thanks again for joining me or thanks for joining me if it's your first time. Hello, and thanks to everyone that's coming back to have a look at what's going on my channel. I really appreciate your support. YouTube is a strange beast at times, like any social media platform, and I really appreciate you coming to check out my content. Without further ado, today we're going to look at texturizing hairsprays. I absolutely love texture sprays. I was looking through my kit and I have more texture sprays than I have of anything else. And undone beachy hair is not going anywhere, and it's a thing, isn't it? So let's get into some old favorites and some new things that I'm really enjoying when it comes to texturizing hairsprays. Now, before we get into my first favorite texture spray, elephant in the room, no, it's a bright orange neon turtleneck. I just felt like some color. Don't think I've ever worn such a bright color here on my channel. And very swiftly as well, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like because it really helps me out and lets me know what you want to see. And if you'd like to subscribe, obviously it's your choice. If you do subscribe, make sure you hit the bell because otherwise you won't be notified about videos, new videos that are coming here. I'm posting pretty generally every week at the moment, so it's great to have you along checking out my content. And as always, if you leave a comment down below, I have a strict firm policy. If you comment, I will get back to you. If you leave a comment, it seems polite, and at the end of the day, this is social media, so it's always great to have your comments. Now, first up, we have thick dry finishing spray from Hairspray. Take a breath, Craig. Hairspray, Aribe, whatever you want to call the line. It's an amazing styling hair care line. Iconic Hairspray, the hairstylist, rest in peace, he's no longer with us. An absolute icon. I followed his career from when I was a very young hairdresser. He did all the supermodels, was based in Miami, I think. An incredible hairstylist, absolutely amazing. This was his line that he set up, and that has become iconic. The line the line did become known for the amazing texturizing spray, which I have in my kit, but I thought I would share this with you because this is the one that I go to the most. The texturizing spray was the first of its kind, and it's kind of been copied by just about every product line that there is. It meant there was a whole new line of finishing sprays. But the thick, dry finishing spray is something I added to my kit about 10 years ago. And it's kind of a hairspray texturizer, slightly dry shampoo hybrid, except it has no white cast, there's no powderiness to it. It does contain zeolite crystals, so you can't see them, you can't feel them, but they do absorb oil and they do give the hair volume. Now, finishing spray, so it is something you would use on dry hair when you've finished styling or when you're adding volume and body, but I find that this does actually create loads of volume and texture in the hair. It has a very, very fine mist on it, very fine mist on it, and the sprayer is beautiful, as with all the Hairspray products. There's 250 ml in here, smells divine. All of them have, all of the products have the Coat Zero fragrance, which is just delicious. And I don't think anybody I've ever used them on doesn't like the smell. So they really are beautiful products. Not cheap, the formulations are pretty incredible. There's botanical extracts in here. They have a signature complex, which is, unique to them and isn't in any other product line. £40, around the £40 mark. Does last a long time because a little goes a long way. But thick, dry finishing spray has been in my kit for 10 years, and this is actually I've got two. The box is actually here on the floor. I have one in my kit bag and one in my locker, and this is the one from my locker because I don't ever want to run out of it. It's a fantastic texturizer. Now, in my opinion, to build texture and create that beachy looking hair, you need to prep the hair with something first. And yes, this video is about texture sprays, but I'm going to talk very briefly here about Virtue Volumizing Primer. Now, this is something I've been using for a while. It's like a non-aerosol pump. It's a priming prep product. priming prep product. I love alliteration. I'll say that one more time. Priming prep product. Now, it creates volume. I just love this. There's a couple, I love Orbe's Maximista, which has been here on my channel before. I think this has been on here somewhere, but the Virtue line, kind of similar to Orbe in its kind of premium. I think this is around the sort of £30 mark. How much we got in here? 150ml. This one is nearly empty. Again, I have another one in my locker. Volumizing primer. So I like to saturate the hair with this. If I'm going to do something that's beachy or curly or even classical kind of waves, because it has a lot of memory. So it really holds anything that you do into the hair. And I think sometimes that beachy undone hair needs a good foundation product in order to make it last, because we're not putting a very strong curl into the hair, we're doing something that's very undone. And I don't like to create that look with lots of hairspray because then it's a bit crunchy. So the foundation for me as a hairstylist is really important. Now the Virtue line, again, is a really swanky formulation, and this contains alpha keratin, which is a synthesized keratin, which sits very near, very close to, mimics, if you like, the hair's own keratin. It's quite early here. The hair's own keratin, so it helps to make the hair strong at the same time as you styling it. So it's also protecting the hair. This is a heat protectant. It's free of sulfates, he says, reading from the back, parabens, phthalates, colours, dyes, and gluten. So, you know, the formulation is really, really tip-top. I have used this on lots of shoots. I've used it on models for different things, and you can't apply too much. Apply it to damp hair and then rough dry it in and then blow dry or set the hair, whatever it is you want to do. And I find it makes the hair very springy and also quite full. So it adds to that kind of beachy texture. Very briefly, wanted to share with you Virtue's Volumizing Primer. It's fabulous. Now, next up is something from another icon of the hairdressing industry, and that's Sam McKnight. Now, this is his Easy Updo spray. Now, this is quite new to me. I'm going to be honest. I've had it for a couple of weeks. Again, I've been using it in the salon on testing it on clients. I haven't done any freelance work like outside of the salon for a while. It's a shame. I think obviously because the world is settling down from being completely crackers. Let's hope. Again, this has a really gorgeous delivery system on it. As you would expect from someone like Sam, who's just the most amazing hairstylist. If you don't know who Sam McKnight is, and you're a hairdresser, please go and Google him. Please go and Google him. I will link all of the products featured today down below. I'm sure his website might tell you something about him, but he is amazing. Almost certainly iconic. Now, this is like, it's like Hairspray had a baby with dry shampoo, but quite a powerful hairspray and quite a powerful dry shampoo. Now, I don't mean sticky or tacky or hard to work with, but I mean slightly gritty. So this gives volume and texture to the hair, and it's called Easy Updo. Now, I'm going to read from the back of the bottle here. Use fewer hairpins and get grip that won't slip for a secure hold on chignons, ponytails, braids, top knots, and any other updo. So it gives the hair that texture that's undone so that you can do things to it. Now, I bought this from Liberty in London. I'm pretty sure you could get it online somewhere. I think it was around the £25 mark for 250ml. Beautiful soft touch packaging. There are a couple of other sprays in the line, and I think that Sam's just launched like an end cream, like a hair dressing cream, if you like, to smooth the hair and to add sheen to it. But I love this. Now, as soon as I bought this, I got my dolly out. I've got an office full of dollies in there. Got one of those out and was playing around with it. I've been using it in the salon for, like I said, a couple of weeks, and it really is a great product. I would say it does have more grip and grit than a normal texture spray. Personally, I really like that. I think it's great on finer textured hair that has a tendency to be static or a bit fluffy. And I'm really looking forward to doing some creative work so that I can get to grips with this, or some creative work that's not in the salon so that I can put this through its paces. So that's Easy Updo from Sam McKnight. Now, another product I've used for ages, probably around 20 years, I used to actually stock in my salon, is Bumble and Bumble Does It All. Now, this isn't technically speaking a texture spray, it's a hairspray, a super light hairspray. Bumble and Bumble is a line that was started by a hairdresser, Michael, can't remember his last name, I'll pop it on the screen somewhere. Had a salon in New York, started a line of products. The line is now owned by Estee Lauder. I'm sure that you have heard of Bumble and Bumble. It's kind of like a, you know, it's been around for a long time now, and the products are all super effective. A lot of the styling line I really like. I don't know so much about the hair care, but Does It All is something, again, I've always had it in my kit. It is the finest. The thing has a very cool like locking mechanism, so less plastic. Is it unlocked? There it is. Again, very, very fine aerosol spray on here. And it's the most workable hairspray. There is another hairspray that I really love, Redken Fashion Work, and Does It All and Fashion Work are very similar. But this is another one that I will always, always have in my kit. You can apply it to the hair, you can keep going, keep going, keep going, and it never builds up, it never gets crunchy, and it never sets hard. And that for me is the kind of key to that beachy, undone textured look. It is a mixture of the other kinds of sprays that I've talked about that give you volume and texture, and that slightly gritty, grippy look, and then a very fine hairspray. This is also brilliant if you want to refresh something. You know, you've styled someone's hair or you've styled your own hair and your hair's gone a bit flat and you want to put the tong through it just to give it a bit of movement. Spray this onto the hair first to give it memory and then work through with a hot tool. Or even just, you know, like we're talking about here, texture. Use this to add texture and volume to the hair, but also hold. So Does It All, keep looking at the thing because it's very early. Does It All by Bumble and Bumble. It's a really solid go-to, not solid as in solid, but solid as in good hairspray. Now, another line that was started by amazing hairdressers, look, the incredible Garen, so incredible he's only got one name, and Tom Priano, is R&Co. Now, this zigzag root teasing and texture spray is a collaboration with Ashley, now I'm probably going to get this wrong, Ashley Streicher. Streicher. Anyway, this is, apologies Ashley, sorry. Ashley is an amazing LA hairstylist. She has clients like Reese Witherspoon, Sarah Paulson, like really cool. She does the most incredible hair. Check her out on Instagram. I will link her down below next to the product. Now, I only had this a couple of weeks ago and it's called Zigzag Root Teasing Texture Spray. I say it again because I do talk so quickly. And it's a slightly tinted root volumizer. Again, it's grippy and gritty. I would say that this is slightly more powerful than the Sam McKnight spray, and it's definitely more powerful than the Orbe dry finishing spray, the thick dry finishing spray. And this also has a slight tint to it. Now I'm going to spray it onto the back of my hand. There's my hand first of all, obviously. I'm just going to spray it on the back here, just so that you can see. I'm sure you can very clearly see that. It smells divine. It's absolutely divine. It has like a, only very, very lightly tinted. There we go. It smells divine. It has a woody, a fresh woody scent to it. A lot of the R&Co products do have really, I can't remember the name of the actual fragrance, but there is a name for it. A lot of the R&Co products do have a really gorgeous scent to them. So they're not only a pleasure to use, but they smell divine and make your hair smell lovely. Now, I'm pretty sure that the thought behind this from Ashley, when she collaborated with the line, there are 3 products in her collaboration. I'd quite like to try the others because this is so good. I think that the light tint to the product is because you use this on the root of the hair. So as well as giving the hair that grit, that grip, volume and texture, because it does have like a hairspray, dry shampoo kind of hybrid texture, the tint to it is in order to get that dimension at the root. So if you're going to use this zigzag on lighter bases, you know, sort of like global bleach outs and things, it is going to tint the roots temporarily, only temporarily, slightly deeper, just to deepen them very slightly. I've been using it in salon. I've had this a couple of weeks and I've gone through quite a bit of it because I really love it. It does give you a very undone look in the hair very quickly. I would advise keeping this to the kind of root area, the root and the mid, for that volume in the texture, because it does have that very, very slight tint to it. That's dried down now and you can see it's not anything scary, but it does have a little bit of colour to it. Really, really enjoying this from Ashley and R & Co Zigzag Root Teasing Spray. So that's it for my roundup of texture giving sprays. Something in there for everybody, and maybe there's something in there that you have used and you would like to share your thoughts on it, or maybe you have a question. Well, pop them in the comments down below and I will get back to you. It's always great to hear from you. Now, I also have an Instagram, lost my train of thought. I also have an Instagram which is popping on screen now. Craig's World of Hair. It's packed full of hair info, free education, and my day-to-day. Yes, that's me, I'm Craig. As always, thank you so much for joining me here on my channel. Lots of love and light. You all take lots of care, and I'll see you all in the next one.